Hello you lot, how's it going? Hey, what a brilliant day. It's a lovely morning. What's the time now? 25 to 6 on a Sunday morning. So found myself a lovely piece of industrial estate here. I was going to go to nearby. There's like an old basketball court. It's like a field with an old basketball court with some woods around it and that kind of stuff. That's quite a nice place, but it means I've got to carry everything down the path because you can't park near it. And I don't fancy that today. So I drove around for a bit and I come across this one, Southfields Business Park. I thought that sounds fancy. So I went in there and it ain't fancy at all. It's just this, basically. Those skid marks and whatever else. But yeah, no, nice little place. So got the old Savage XL, the new one. Brand new one, needs to be ran in. Oh, by the way, I've been collecting up my change because I pay for everything with cash mainly. Go down the post office, draw out my wage, you know, and pay everything up, collect up the pennies, and I treat myself now and again. And I went in McDonald's because it was the closest thing popping there. And I said, oh, do you know what I normally get hot chocolate normally, but I quite fancied a mocha today. And I said, mocha, please. He goes, we don't have it. Well, she goes, we don't have mochas. And I said, oh, blimey. I just have an hot chocolate. When did you stop doing mochas? She went, I don't think we ever have done mochas before. And I thought, I'm sure they did mochas at some point. Could have sworn about a mocha from McDonald's before. Anyway. Yeah, so I got myself an hot chocolate because this is going to be quite a lengthy process. Quite a boring process, really, to be fair. So anyway, let's fire it up. We've still got the sticker on the engine. Look, let's get it out, fire it up, put the first bits of nitro through it, and get it all run in. Yeah. God, the excitement's bloody strong, I tell you that. The excitement is strong. Alright, let's see if I can stand you lot there. That might work. It's a little bit of a mess in this boot of this car. Anyway. Yeah, so this isn't mine, this Savage. It's a friend of mine. He said to me a while back, he said, I really fancy a new nitro car, or a new car. He was looking at a few others, looking at some petrol ones and whatever else. And I forgot to buy a nitro for it, by the way, so I've got some 25% Optifuel, so I'm just going to be using that. Anyway. He said he was going, I quite fancy a new one, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, I quite fancy one of those new Savages. And I said, yeah, get one, man. Just get one. Yeah, you won't regret it. You can't go wrong with a Savage. And you can't really go wrong with a HPI, to be fair. Even though they are all made in China these days. But, you know, it's not all bad in China. You know, China's just got a bad reputation because of all the rubbish that it pumps out. But it's not all rubbish. Anyway, and he said, if I get one, will you run it in and all that for me? So I said, yeah, of course I will, you know. It's more fun for me as well, and I get to see what the differences are between this and the older ones and all that. So yeah, I said, yeah, of course, yeah, I'll run it in. So yeah, we ended up just having it delivered straight to me I bought it from Wheelspin Models. That's where we got it from, Wheelspin Models. We looked around, all the prices were all the same, you know, no prices were cheaper anywhere, but Wheelspin's good anyway, because if a price is cheaper somewhere, and you say to Wheelspin, you say, look, I found it cheaper at this place or that place, they'll you know, they'll price match it anyway. So Wheelspin are the bloody best place to go anyway these days. I always say support your local model shop and do that. If you've got a model shop that's close to you, go and support them first. And Wheelspin didn't like that once when I said that. But listen, you've got to support it. You know, that's how everybody grows. You know, with the support. Got to have the support. You've got to support your locals. You know. As I say, charity starts at home. Well, charity starts with your local shop. Anyway, got a roto start on this one. Yeah, anyway, so as I was saying, got this from Wheelspin. And yeah, he said, "You run it in for me and do all that stuff." So I said, "Yeah, of course, no trouble at all. I'll sort that out. I'll run it in for you, get all that sorted." So yeah, this is where we are, just playing around with it. Now, I've heard all the things about the gearbox, and putting the thread lock on the grub screws and all that. We'll sort all that out later on. I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine to run it in like this, etc, etc. So we've got throttle, brakes. I must point out, by the way, I was playing around with this yesterday evening, and straight out the box everything is set up. I mean, HPI, they're really doing well with all this kind of stuff, you know. Everything's set up, even the fail-safe. A lot of the times you buy a brand new Nitro car and the fail-safe won't be set, so you have to set that and things. And the trims might be slightly off and this and that. But literally, I put batteries in this. I forgot to get batteries for it. So I was looking around and all the blooming, the TV remotes, I could have sworn they were AAs, but they're blooming AAAs. So I'm thinking, oh, blimey. So now I'm going around, and the kids have got an Xbox, an old Xbox. They've got a 360 because you don't need the new stuff. The old stuff is just as good. And in the controllers was AA batteries. And there was 2 controllers, so that means 4 AA batteries. Luckily, this takes 4. So I've nicked the batteries out of the Xbox controllers. Anyway, it was a bumblebee. Anyway, so yeah, as I was saying, everything is on point. The throttle is set perfectly. It goes to tick over. It doesn't fanny around. You know, it opens up fully. The brakes are good. The steering appears to be straight. So I've got no complaints with that. You know, all the trims. Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. Everything is just set properly. The fail-safe is set. So it was all bound. Sometimes you buy a new Nitro car and the receiver and the transmitter won't be bound yet. Things, but it's all on point. So yeah, listen, HPI, and they're especially with this one anyway. Yeah, really good. Can't complain about that. Right, let's do some priming. I'll prime it with this. I'll prime it with this one. There we go. Where's my glow starter? We'll use this one because I think this one was charged before. And if not, I've got the other one that might be charged. It might be, or it might be not. I don't know. Johnny Boy said, "You know what? I'm going to join you." Well, he's not here, is he? John? John? Not here. I don't know why he says this. Oh yeah, I'll be here. I'll be there. I'll help you do it. Don't need any help. I'll be there anyway. Nah, not here, are you? Cock. That won't stay on there. Right. Where's that go then? Through there, is it? Nope, not that one. That one? Nope, not that one. That one. There we go. We got it in the end. Let's turn up that trim a little bit. It might have already been turned up a little bit. I was probably playing around with it earlier. I don't know. One thing that I forgot to bring, I've got this stand. it's a little motorbike stand, and that's what I use to stand the cars on when I just want to stand them up. I forgot to bring it. I've probably left it on the driveway, so I thought there was a blooming mark on the lens, and I thought, oh no. Anyway, so she's over there, let her warm up, let her run, do a couple of tanks on tick over, and then we'll drive it round. Yeah, Savage, HPI Savage XLGT-6. Yeah. A bit of improvisation. A little bit of improvisation with my nitro can now. I thought, oh, that would be a good one. Sometimes I have them just sitting on the ground, sometimes I have them up so the wheels can spin round. The advantage to having it up so the wheels spin round is it does wear the gearbox in a little bit, you know, it's all wearing everything in, whereas if you have it on the ground, the gearbox ain't wearing in, is it? So there is advantages to that kind of thing. And actually, on the old Savage manuals, they used to say have them on the stand and have the wheels spinning. But sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I mean, I keep saying there's more than one way to skin a cat. Whatever suits you, just what you do. So we've got a long time ahead of us now. I mean, that's been running for about 5 minutes already, and it's barely used any of that tank, so we'll be here for a little while. It is really nice to see that HPI is still making and releasing new versions of cars, for Nitro that is. I mean, I don't know how it seems to you lot, but I'm definitely not a die-hard like purist or whatever. I do my bit to try and keep things going, you know. Do what I can to get people into Nitro and do what I can to bring out all the good things and the positives about all the different brands, not just HPI. But there's not a lot I can do if it turns out being, you know, if they stop doing it, if Nitro goes out of fashion. What can I do? Not a lot, really. Blimey. Car just went past, absolutely blasting music. I don't know how people can drive with music that loud. Stinks of weed as well. You know what, there's some people, I don't know where they are, they must live near me somewhere. I think not next door, maybe a couple over or whatever. They must keep going out in the garden and smoking a load of weed, man. Oh, it's the worst thing. Can't understand it. And they've got children. I'm pretty sure I know who it is. And they've got children as well. Irresponsible bastards. Anyway, as we were saying, what was we saying? Yeah, it's not a lot. You know, a single person like me, what can I do if the companies decide to stop making Nitro? But it's really nice to see that HPI is still doing it. It means they've still got a vision for Nitro, and they've still got a vision for the Savage, you know. I mean, they could easily just discontinue it and say, look, it's had its run, it's been around for over 20 years, that's it, we've had enough, we're not doing it no more. There might be an electric version, but that's it. But they don't, which is great. So HPI, if you're watching this, I've got your back. Not that I can do a lot, I mean, you're bloody heavy compared to, I can't support you, but I'm there, man, I'm there, you know. And all the other Nitro, all the other RC companies that are still doing Nitros and releasing them, even if they are re-releases, it doesn't matter. The fact that you're still manufacturing them and putting some kind of thought process to designs and whatever else, that means a hell of a lot. You know, it means you're still there, and the pulse is still beating, do you know what I mean? That's brilliant. So, while we're still waiting for that, we've got half a tank left on the first one. Some of you may be wondering, you know, because I don't tend to do things by the book, as we'll say, do you know what I mean? But seeing as this one's not mine, I'm doing it for a friend, running it all in. I'm doing things reasonably properly, do you know what I mean? I've got the cloth on there, trying to get it through a heat cycle, trying to get it hot enough. No, I haven't got a temperature gun. Listen, you know me, I ain't going that far into it, right? You don't need that. But I'm getting it off, taking it off, you know, getting it through its heat cycles. I'll be letting it cool down after this one, doing it as properly as possible. As far as the thread lock goes, I know you're all going to jump on that one. Funnily enough, I think the unboxing video of it, I've done that, I've done a bit of a twisty-roo for you. I released that one at 5 o'clock AM, 5 o'clock in the morning, so that would have gone up this morning. I haven't looked at it yet. I've been doing the videos to go out in the evenings to try and suit people that are going to be coming home from work and all that, but I thought I'll twist it around yesterday, and I uploaded that one and done it for 5 o'clock in the morning. So, and most people have been probably going to be helping me out saying about the thread lock on the grub screws, but I will do that. But my eyes is, the way I see it, if they make a product and them screws come out immediately, right, that's a massive problem, and that needs to be a product recall, and I'll be on them and I'll be saying, look, it ain't even bloody been used yet and the screws have come out and destroyed that gearbox. It's a ready to run unit. It should be quality checked and that should be done, right? So I will be doing the thread lock because it's not mine. I'll do it for, you know, but if it was mine, I will point out, if that car was mine, no, I wouldn't be taking that gearbox apart and putting thread lock on them grub screws. For the reason being, as I've said, that's a ready to run unit. It should be ready to run, you know. I shouldn't have to be taking it apart and going through someone else's work and redoing it. It should be able to just get it out of the box and use it. Yeah, things break, but if that's a malfunction, if that's a problem, they need to rectify that. So, but on the flip side of that, we're running out of nitro. Thought we were running out of nitro then. On the flip side of that, I read an article, can't remember where I read it now. Oh, bloody hell. It came up when I was looking, doing a price comparisons, going along all the different shops, trying to find the best price for that. I was just Googling it and things. And I was reading, and some forums were coming up. And I was reading one, and it said that they had rectified it. So the early ones, the first ones that come out, it seems that the grub screws weren't thread locked and they were coming out and bouncing around in the gearboxes. HPI had noticed that, and now they've been thread locking them in the factory. Whether it's true, I don't know. Right? Don't forget, this isn't an early one. This is a later one. Right? So I don't know if that's true. The only way to find out would be to take it apart and see if there is any thread lock on the grub screws, right? But I don't know. That's something I'd heard. If you're in the know and you can confirm, 100% confirm, maybe you work for HPI, I don't know, whatever, that if that's the case or if not the case, put it in the comments, because that'll help other people out as well. There's no point in taking apart your new bloody car just to do something if you don't need to, is there? Taking it apart is the last thing you want to do. What you want to be doing is running it. Here's something for you. I also heard, it's like the blooming conspiracy theorists, isn't it? The flat earthers and all that kind of stuff. Do you believe the earth is flat or is it round? Oh, I don't know. The alpha tank lean, right? Doesn't exist, but it does to some people. Now, I heard that they got rid of that and eradicated that with this new Savage. It doesn't have a half a tank lean condition anymore. Don't really see how, if they have and if it did exist, because it's exactly the same shape. Whether it's the same tank, I don't know, it might be slightly different, but it's the same shape. So, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I'll leave that up to you lot, but it doesn't exist. Half a tank lean doesn't exist. Alright. Is the earth flat or is it round? Everybody knows the earth is flat. I mean, people who say it's round are just bonkers, you know what I mean? Right, got to document every single step, otherwise I'll be in trouble. So, yeah, we've just come to the end of tank number 4 now. I stopped it a little bit before the end of it. Got a little bit left in there. That was tank number 4 now. I've been here a couple of hours just letting that do its thing, blipping it, clearing out all the nitro in between, because obviously when you're running these in, they are rich, which is why you get a lot of oil coming out the exhaust. Everyone has different processes. I'm not interested in what everyone says. I'll blip them now and again, you know, clear out all the oil so it doesn't get all coked up, and it can keep running, do its thing. So we're letting it cool down now, do its 4th heat cycle. I'm going for that method, by the way. As I said, if it was mine, I do things, you know, semi-properly in my opinion, but if it was mine, I probably would have done 2 tanks on a tick over, and then I'd be out there, I'd be driving it up and down. But because it's not mine, I want to do it as properly as possible. And as I say, everyone's got their own views of what properly is. I'm not interested. But yeah, so we've done 4 tanks on a high tick over. The first 2 tanks were on a lower tick over, as you saw, and the second 2 I raised it up a little bit so it was revving a bit higher, and I put the cloth on and off periodically, keep it hot, get it somewhere nice. The way I see it is, if you can put your hand on the top of that head and you can't keep it there for any more than 1 or 2 seconds, that's about right, because it should be just over 100 degrees. You know, if you can keep your hand on there, it's too cold, and if you literally can't touch it at all, then it's a bit hot. Keep it like that, we're all good. Some of you lot are proper anal about it with your temperature guns. That's up to you, that's your problem, not mine. So yeah, let it cool down a bit, and then we're going to be going a little bit of a drive. Yeah, man, God, the excitement's bloody real, I tell you that. Someone said, I think it was Simon himself. Simon is a channel member, by the way, the bloke who, so all channel members, how's it going? Yeah, he said to me, it sounds different. I reckon they sound different. At the moment, it sounds like a normal Savage with a 5.9 in it. Obviously, the bigger the engine, the more deeper it's going to be. That's just the way engines go. Bigger engines are deeper. Smaller engines are more of a high-pitched note. Yeah, but it's bloody brilliant so far. Really impressed with it. So yeah, as I say, we'll let it cool down. It shouldn't take long because it's a nice breeze this morning. And then we'll fire it up and go for a little blast down that road, and probably do the 4 tank way, 2 tanks up and down, no more than probably about a quarter throttle, and then we'll do, well, no, I actually won't do that. No, we won't. We'll do 1 tank up and down up to a quarter throttle there and back. Second tank we'll go to half throttle there and back. Third tank we'll go to 3/4 of a throttle there and back. 4th tank we'll go full throttle there and back. You know, that is considered to be running in done, although the engine will still be wearing in for weeks and weeks and weeks after that. That's the critical period done after that. Your method is your method, right? There's more than one way to skin a cat. I know you're itching, I know you're twitching. Go and have a biscuit and relax. Right, I reckon we've left that long enough now. Oh yeah, that's only barely warm now, so that's cooled right down. So I'm going to call that good. Call that nitro. It's all over me can. I have to mop that up later. Right, so let's stick a bit more in here. Another tank. Whoop-dee-doo, basil. Oh no. Oh no, we've run out. Gonna have to do a little bit more. Yeah, so this, what is it? It's a HPI Savage GT-6 It's bloody brilliant. I wonder what they're going to bring out for the next one. I'll have to try and get friendly with somebody at HPI, and I might be able to find out what the plans are for the next one. Don't worry, I won't leak anything, I promise. Right, there we go, that's that. Right, let's turn that. I had to trim up quite high because, as I say, the last tank was a bit more of a higher revved one. So I'll turn that down, otherwise it'll go zip zap zoomity. Might be a bit low now. Might have to adjust the screw a little bit later on. We'll do it later. I'm not worried about it now. Oh, that's nice. That is very nice. Right, steering trim's a little bit off. Still a little bit off. There we go. Quarter throttle. That's quick, that is. The throttle response is good. Steering response is brilliant. Brakes. Oh yeah, they're good. The transmitter's really nice to hold in the hands. That's a brilliant transmitter to hold, that is. Quarter throttle. That's just a quarter throttle, that is. I'm going to do that for its whole tank. Right, going to do that up and down, quarter throttle for a whole tank. So I'll see you when we get to the next one. The next one will be half throttle. There we go. Right, just fired it up again. We're on the second tank now. Brand new tank of nitro there. This one's going to be up to half throttle there and back. So let's see. I don't know if it changes it. Might even change gear. You never know, do you? Bloody hell. I knocked the camera a minute ago, so hopefully you're in the right direction. Oh yeah, we've got second gear. Second gear on half throttle. Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? Oh yeah. Ha 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 ha. That is brilliant. Oh, I like that. Very nice. Very, very nice. Very nice. To be honest, that ain't even half throttle, really. That was half throttle, roughly. Love it, eh? What a beast. They make a good car, HPI. That was half throttle. Man up in that window, they're loving it. Can you see him? Right, so we're going to keep doing that, up and down, up to half throttle for another tank. See you in a minute. And that's the man that was in the window up there. Keep it away from him while he walks around. case you were wondering, we're on the full throttle run now. Give it a race. We're on the full throttle run now, in case you were wondering. Third gear. Loving it. Hello buddy, how are you? Oh yeah? Oh, my apologies. I'll come out on a Sunday morning because there's no one about, you know. Yeah. Oh, of course I can. Yeah. If I'm, I don't want to annoy anyone, you know. So. Oh right, no apologies. My apologies, mate. I'll go somewhere else, mate. Yeah, I don't want to annoy anyone, so. Yeah, and you, all the best. Right. So I'm going to move on. That would, for those of you wondering, probably all of you, that was the fourth tank. I've only got that last little bit left. That bit there. That was the fourth tank running up and down. We were going full throttle, getting third gear. Little bit of information for you. I had to richen up the high end a bit because it was going a little bit lean. The smoke was starting to go and it was sounding a little bit leaner than it was, so I richened up the high end and the low end, but that's just because the engine's wearing in, it's getting hotter and things like that, so that's the reason for that. That'll happen on most engines. As engines wear in, they need a different fueling condition, so you know that's what that's all about. Yeah. Anything? What else? Oh, I had to adjust the TIG over screw. I had to screw that in about 2 turns actually, because it was held on the trim before, and as it was running in I was adjusting the trim on the transmitter, and obviously it was going in too far and it weren't ticking over, so I had to turn that in 2 turns, and now we've got a tick over. It's not a good, I think it's a good tick over, but those of you that are obsessed with tuning and stuff, it's not going to be for you, but it's good enough. Anyway, that bloke, and I said there was a bloke up in the window, didn't I, having a look. Well, it turns out he was obviously a businessman or something, and he said, I come in early on a Sunday morning when it's peace and quiet, nobody's in the offices to do all the figures and you're buzzing around. So he was a nice bloke, real nice bloke. Didn't have a go at me or anything like that. He just said, would you mind going somewhere else? I said, yeah, no trouble, I'll go somewhere else. So I'm going to go down onto the other part of the industrial estate and just finish off that last part of that tank, and then that's the fourth tank then running on full throttle. So on paper, theory, the run-in process will be done, but it won't be completely done. But anyway, let's pack it all up in the car, move over to the next bit, finish off that tank, and then going for barbecue or something. Okie dokie then. So I literally just come around the corner. This looks like a nice place. I've never been here before, but this looks like a brilliant little place. I can just finish off this last quarter of a tank. What's that little bag down there? Bloody hell. Right, we've got some illegal activity going on here. God, it's mad what you find in places, isn't it, eh? Absolutely mad. Wonder if Johnny Boy's around here again. Don't know, never been here before, so I don't know what's around here. Anyway, let's finish off this last quarter of a tank. That was a nice old man. I liked him. He seemed all right. Come here to do his work on a Sunday morning, do his figures because nobody was in the office, and then there's me buzzing around underneath his window. Do you know what? I'm certain that some people live or stay in the offices sometimes because there's always cars outside day and night. I know there's probably night shifts and whatever else, but yeah, I reckon some people live and stay in them offices sometimes. But if you're a businessman, you got to do your work, haven't you? Anyway, so let's fire this up again, and we'll get the last quarter tank sorted out. I'm not going to be able to get much of a full throttle here though. But some of you may be wondering, why didn't I go to, I think I explained at the beginning of the video actually. Anyway, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I could have gone to a grass field, you know, I could have gone, but I don't want to go too far out. I've got to go in that direction after this. There's loads of grass fields in that direction that I could go to, and I sometimes do. There's that basketball court, which is in that direction, sort of in between, with a grass field and that, but I just didn't fancy carrying it all to it. So that's why I picked a nice concrete road, you know, it's just up and down concrete road. That's why I picked that. You know, I could have gone to a park or something, so I just didn't fancy it today. That's why. So I'm here. But yeah, we've got a quarter of a tank, we'll better go up and down. Doesn't really matter what you do as long as the engine's running, you know. So as long as it's running, that's running it in, you know what I mean? So movements, all the moving parts and things, you know, that's what it's all about. So anyway, let's fire it up. Only thing is it's going to get dirty here though. It's going a bit of this grass. Oh, there's a tree there. Oh, for the love of bacon sandwiches. Typical. Absolutely typical. The only, well, there's not the only tree, there's loads of other trees, but why did I have to turn there for? Oh, second gear. Oh, another tree. There we go. We're pretty much running now in theory, so them brakes are bloody good. You've got to be careful with them. This is great. Very, oh, bloody tree again. There. They're very stable. You've got to be really careful with them brakes though. Tell you that. Them brakes are sharp. You can adjust that though. You can adjust the brakes to however you want your brakes. I mean, I don't really care. You just got to get used to not pinning them. Oh, we're running out. We're running out. Oh yeah, look, we're running out. And we're gone. Well, there we go. That is the theory. I keep doing that up because it's true, you know. People always say, oh, that's it, do 4 tanks and it's running. That's the theory of it, you know. Really, all engines, excuse me, all engines are still running in for a long time after their running period, as I say. Oh, there's a lot of flies and bugs around. I don't know if they're coming up on camera, but little, I don't know, midges or whatever they are. And I breathed a load of them in. Oh, stuck on my throat. Anyway, yeah, so that's the, oh, I need a drink. I'll have to drink some nitro fuel or something. I ain't got any more drinks with me. That's mad. You know when you get the big swarms of little flies buzzing around? It's weird. The little swarms of little flies buzzing around. Maybe there's a storm coming or something, I don't know. But they're all around them trees. And I breathed a lot, I felt them all go in. Oh. Anyway, What was I saying? I forget what I was saying now. Oh, bloody hell. Enterprise adhesives. Yeah, so, you know, they say that after 4 tanks, but really, the 4 tanks, or however many tanks you choose to do, as I say, there's different methods, different amount of tanks. I'm not interested in it. Forget about it. That's just, the engine is worn in enough to be able to just use it normally and to add a bit of a tune to it. But it'll keep wearing in for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours after that little period of time. So yeah, it's up to you what you do, but I recommend that you go a little bit easy on it after that. But you know, I've got engines like the MP9, for example. I can't remember exactly what I've done, but from my memory, I think I'd done like 1 tank on tick over. 1 tank driving around in a circle, and I ended up doing full throttle, and then I tuned it, and then it is as it is, and that's a KE21, and that's been one of the most reliable engines I've got or ever had. Them flies don't taste very nice either. Yeah, so it is one of them, but it is important to run your engines in. I'm not saying it isn't important. What I'm saying is the way you do it as you will. So yeah, there we go. Thanks for watching, you lot. HPI Savage XLGT, bloody hell. Savage XLGT-9, that's the one. Ran in, ready to rock and roll. So the next time you see this, I think I've got it for a couple of weeks. Hopefully I don't eat a load of flies next time. Oh. I've got it for a couple of weeks. I've got a couple of weeks to do get it all set up before I have to send it off to him. So the next time you see it, we'll be running it round. I will go to a grass field next time, a nice grass park, so that we can just play around with it, basically, see what it's like. I'm going to do a comparison as well. I've obviously got my Savage 21, which was the very first Savage. I got that, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison to see what the differences are, but also we'll run both of them. Obviously I can't drive both at the same time, but bloody hell. Don't eat flies. We'll do them both at the same, run them both and see what the differences are. Right, I think I've deflied. Bloody hell. I need to carry some drinks in the car. Can't make your eyes water, that does. Right. Yeah, we'll do a comparison side by side, see what they're both like, see what the differences are, play around with it, run it around. I am going to do the thread lock on the grub screws, don't worry, I'll have a look at it. Whether they've done it in the factory and rectified it or not, I don't know. Bring some bloody fly repellent. Nah, I'm only joking. I'll see you a lot later on. Don't take people for granted, don't let other people take you for granted, all that. I'm getting sick of saying it now. I'm going to find a new saying to say at the end of the videos. Don't be gay. That could be a good one. Don't be gay. Cheerio. All the best. You lot. Take care.